Hello and welcome to the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today is Thursday, November 30th, 2023. It is the last day of the month of November. I'm done with Scarlift. I'm done in the sense that I've got 50,000 words swirling around this quasi-word processing program. It is not done in the sense that I'm not going to just put out, garbage, right? I'm not going to put out a bunch of words and say, hey, it's done. No, I mean, now begins the real task of, kind of like editing this, getting it really better organized, better structured, stuff like that. But as it relates to putting out a manuscript or getting it done, like I did it, I got it done, and I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. Okay, we're going to get to that some other day, though. Right now, I want the focus to be on Stronghold Digital Mining stock price. I want the focus to be on our operations and maintenance. I want the focus to be on what I believe is a coming tsunami. I want to use the word tsunami very, very carefully because there have been some tragic instances. I'm thinking specifically December 2004, where we really did have tsunamis in the real world sense cause tremendous harm. So I want to kind of differentiate that type of real world harm that breaks my heart and that's not a good thing from the tsunami that I believe is heading in our direction in the sense of a very positive thing, right? Meaning I believe that we have a tsunami of financial interest in the Bitcoin ecosystem. I believe there's going to be a tsunami of media interest in Bitcoin as the price slowly but surely keeps on moving up. And I also believe that the fact that gold itself, I don't necessarily track gold on a day-to-day basis, but lately I have been paying a little bit closer attention to what's been going on in the gold market, and I do notice and see that the price of gold has been moving up. I also think that as a result of that, it's going to turn more focus and more attention on what's going on with Bitcoin. So I think both gold and Bitcoin, I think they can coexist. I do think that those of us who believe that Bitcoin is a superior alternative to gold, I do think that this is going to be the moment, right, where this, when this wave, this tsunami of financial interest, sweeps across the Bitcoin landscape. I think this is going to be the moment where those of us, right, who think, hey, Bitcoin is superior to gold, well, then we'd like to see the value of Bitcoin, the market cap of Bitcoin, begin to take, I think, a much more, I don't want to say take over the market cap of gold. I don't think that's going to happen. I'll be shocked if it were to happen, because that would mean that as of today's valuations, Bitcoin would have a market capitalization probably in excess of $13 trillion. I'll let you do the math insofar as figuring out what the price of Bitcoin itself would look like if today its market capitalization were $13 trillion plus dollars. I'll also leave it to your imagination to figure out what hash prices might look like. And as you can probably surmise, Stronghold Digital Mining, under a scenario like that, along with pretty much every other publicly traded Bitcoin mining company, would quite, not literally, but almost quite literally, be printing money, right? It would just be this unreal amount of money that's being generated by our operations, by our Bitcoin mining operations. Were you to have today a $13 trillion market cap in Bitcoin with the Bitcoin network hash rate at, say, 500. So let's bring this back to the world of reality, right? Right now, Bitcoin does not have a market cap that's approaching 13 trillion. My argument has been, hey, to the extent we want to see Bitcoin as being something like gold, then hey, let's have Bitcoin then be this world-class digital asset, right? That can have a market capitalization that's commensurate with that type of title. You can't tell me it's a world-class digital asset and it's not, you know what I mean? And it's under $1 trillion in market cap. So hey, let's get to maybe maybe $4 trillion in market capitalization. And then we can reassess, right? We can say, hey, okay, you know what? Bitcoin at this juncture has now, its market capitalization, if anything, has maybe surpassed that of like Google and Apple and Amazon, right? I mean, take those companies, put them all together. What's the market cap value? Hey, should Bitcoin trade at least at the same market cap if you were to add up Apple's market cap, Google's market cap, and say Amazon's market cap. I mean, is that a fair argument to make? I don't think it's that outlandish if the argument is, hey, Bitcoin is better than gold, Bitcoin has all these amazing attributes. I listened to some really knowledgeable, incredibly intelligent, persuasive individuals who have taken like these massive bets on Bitcoin, right? And if I mentioned one name in particular, you know what name I'm referring to, right? Who has directed his company to essentially be like a quasi Bitcoin holding company. I mean, the eloquence with which Bitcoin is described is very seductive. I mean, I listen to this and I'm like, wow, this just sounds like nirvana. And then I look at the market capitalization of this amazing, breathtaking technology, and I'm like, man, it's not even trading at the same market cap as Apple, which makes phenomenal products, by the way. But come on, I don't hear Apple products being described with the eloquence and just the amazement factor, right, that Bitcoin is described by this one individual in particular. So look, that's all by way of saying, if Bitcoin's going to be the real thing, the real deal, and kind of step into its role as a world-class asset class, then yeah, we got to see a market cap $3-4 trillion at least, right, to just kind of get into the game. To the extent we really do believe, hey, it's superior to gold, then great. Let's have it at least trade at half the market capitalization of gold. And then, hey, if it truly is superior to gold, then wouldn't it be reasonable to think that it should trade, right, as a market cap at least the same as gold, if not better? Now, as we both know, Bitcoin tends to be very cyclical. At least in its relatively short history, that seems to be the case. The past is never and will not be now a predictor of the future. We have no idea what the future holds. But I don't think it's that irresponsible. I don't think it's that outlandish to say, there seems to be a period of time that commences maybe right around the time of a Bitcoin halving, where after that event occurs, the price of Bitcoin skyrockets, like truly skyrockets. And I invite you to fact check that. Go look at a chart that correlates, hey, here's, when a halving took place, and then take a look at what happened with the price of Bitcoin. So to the extent that is any guide, while keeping in mind it's not a predictor of the future, if that's any guide at all, I think there's a tsunami of financial interest that's coming in our direction. And as we look out over the horizon and we see what looks like a slight ripple in the water, so to speak, right? An ocean of money, right? Let's sort of phrase it that way. Again, to distinguish a little bit from an actual tsunami, which is a heartbreaking disaster of epic proportions. That's not something I want to really glorify. It's horrifying. But imagine for a moment we're standing right at the shore, we're looking out over this ocean of money, and we're like, man, like when's the money going to start kind of coming? When's the tide going to roll in, right? And I think we're starting to see that happen, right? Hey, the financial inflows have started to sort of pick up pace a little bit. Bitcoin's right around $38,000 a coin. We started the year way below that, right? And now we're slowly but surely, it's building up. And people are noticing. More people are coming out to the shore, so to speak, right? Saying, hey, maybe I could scoop up a couple buckets of money here, because, right, it just seems like, wow, there's more and more money coming to shore. So Stronghold Digital Mining doesn't just have this little bucket, and Stronghold Digital Mining isn't just some entity, right? Some enterprise that just showed up like yesterday, saying, hey, maybe we can pick up some money here. Stronghold Digital Mining arguably has been building up to this moment since before its initial public offering in October of 2021. Arguably, Stronghold Digital Mining's destiny lies before it. And now the question is, hey, can Stronghold Digital Mining fully live into its full potential? And I think we're gonna see this unfold in real time. This isn't something that's like hypothetical and hey, we got to check in at some future date. We're going to see this on a day-to-day basis unfold before our very eyes. And so what all of us have to decide is whether or not we want to see the culmination of this journey, at least this chapter of this journey? Do we want to watch this from the sidelines? Or do we want to actually dip our proverbial toe into the water, into this, right, this ocean of money that seems to be gathering more and more momentum? Do we want to kind of be exposed to it, to see what it's like, to see what it feels like to be in a vessel, right? This entity called Stronghold Digital Mining that has the potential to profit in ways that I don't even know that I'm prepared to cover. I mean, think about the journey we've been on. All I've really known is hardship, struggle, perseverance. That's all I've ever known. Yeah, there have been some moments, right, where the stock price has popped, and I've, made no secret of the fact that there were instances where I personally was up 100% with my investment, and I did not sell. That's a hell of a thing when you consider the journey we've been on. Talk about a psychological, what I mean? What does that do to your headspace, right? When you're like, wow, I was up 100%. Dang, now like I'm down, right? And the company has had its fair share of real trials and real tribulations, and real doubt has swirled around the market as to whether or not this company would survive. So this is the moment where I believe we're at the very beginning of a tsunami, a financial tsunami that's heading in our direction. And it's going to take some real, I think, effort for me to really understand and experience what it's like to be in a sustained market, where imagine if I get to sit here and say, hey, great news, we're up another $3 today. Hey, the stock's at $45 a share. Hey, wow, look at that. Some of the analysts have upped the target to $70 a share. Even that language seems so foreign given everything we've been through. But I think it's coming. It's a matter not of if, in my opinion, but a matter of when and how it's going to unfold. And I'm so incredibly excited to be on this journey, to potentially be on this journey with you if you happen to be a co-owner, a shareholder of this business. I'm truly, truly excited. Okay, let's stay positive, let's be great, and we'll see each other again tomorrow.